Welcome to the PinkpillRx podcast, hosted by Katie and Jay Fillmore, where we navigate complex and thought-provoking topics surrounding women with a focus on education. For shorter form content, follow us on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube at Caters88 or PinkpillRx.
That's KATORS88.
If you enjoy this podcast, please give us a follow and maybe a nice review.
I wanted to mention a couple things before we get started here. It's been quite a few episodes since I've mentioned such things, so I wanted to talk about it real quick. If you love what we do and want to support our mission, we would love for you to consider joining our Patreon for just $1 or $5 a month. Your contribution helps us continue bringing you this content. If you support at $5 a month, after 3 months, you get access to our digital downloads like the complete Pink Pill game and the Pink Pill movie. We have an Etsy shop as well where you can buy merch, including digital games, the movie, the girl dad shirt you see Jay wearing all the time, satirical bingo cards that you can use for therapy during family gatherings.
4th of July coming up. Yes. That'd be fun at the barbecue.
And bumper stickers. And lastly, I am working on a book, and I really want your guys' stories. So there's a link in the show notes for the complete list of topics on the stories that I'm looking for. But in general, I want to hear about how your conversations with men have gone as you've tried to explain your lived experiences. I also want stories about your lived experiences. So if you have a story that you'd like to share for my book or with our listeners and followers, please email us at pinkpillrx@gmail.com. And as a reminder, we're your hosts, Katie
and Jay
Fillmore, and we are really happy that you are with us for another episode. This is an episode where we don't have a guest. We've just had guest after guest, which has been so wonderful and so educational, but it's just us today.
It's been lots of fun.
It has been lots of fun having guests. It's been fun, but it's nice going back to the old school way of doing things too.
Kind of relaxing.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Unfortunately, we had a huge loss this week. And we have been grieving. And so this episode is probably going to be a little lighter because we need it. And I think that we all probably need it in the current climate that we're living in.
Yeah.
We lost our dog is what happened.
Yeah.
And it was sudden the way that it happened. So
yeah,
we are still processing through that. And
that was my girl.
Yeah, it was Jay's girl, and it was our family dog, and we got that dog right when we got married. It was her name was Micah, and she will forever be missed. We love her so much. So we have been mourning quite a bit this week. Be patient with us during this episode. We might be jumping around a little bit, and like I said, it's going to probably be more lighthearted.
That sounds great.
Great. Well, guess what? We're going to just jump right into it as per usual. There's a new TikTok trend going on. Have you seen it?
How many different trends at different times on different corners of TikTok? I don't know. I've seen one that's maybe in its infancy.
What's one that's in its infancy?
Well, I thought about making a Micah video about it, actually.
Oh, what?
It was something like you show an image of something now. Mm-hmm. And then I forgot what the exact phrasing is, but it's like, there was a time when.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah, that's not the one I'm talking about.
Thank goodness you said light. I cannot do that tonight.
Yeah. So it's called princess treatment or bare minimum.
Okay. I've not heard of that at all.
So I'm going to ask you a series of questions.
Oh, this is going to be freaking fun.
And you're going to tell me if that's princess treatment or if that's like the bare minimum a guy should do.
I am excited for this. This is going to be great.
So bare minimum or princess treatment, okay?
Okay.
Pumping my gas. Bare minimum, princess treatment.
That would be... I mean, I would say bare minimum. I don't think it's princess treatment. It might be a little bit above the bare minimum, but I'm thinking if it's cold outside, like in winter. Like we live in Chicagoland. So I'm going to pump your gas. And then like if I'm with you, is that what this means?
You're really overthinking this.
Is this if I'm with you? Okay, this is how I play Codenames, everybody. This is how I play
Have you ever played Codenames? Because this is exactly what it sounds like.
I overthink everything. Okay, is this like we're in the car together?
I'm going to move on to the next question.
No. Listen. Linda. If we're together, I'm pumping your gas. So yeah, that's bare minimum.
Okay. Cooking me dinner.
I think gender roles are 50-50.
Okay, there's a new rule for this trend. You just have to answer bare minimum or princess treatment.
This is lightning round. Just whatever comes to my head, spit it out. All right, say it again.
Cooking me dinner.
Bare minimum.
Heating my car up in the wintertime.
Bare minimum.
Going to get the car when it's parked far away.
Bare minimum. You at least offer. You always decline me, but I will at least offer.
Going downstairs to get me a snack.
Princess treatment.
Making a phone call I don't want to make.
Bare minimum.
Massages.
That's a bare. Come on, that's a bare minimum. I'm not saying frequency, but you better be able to do it.
Do you know what's really sweet? Jay did something really, really sweet. Was this last year for our anniversary?
Last year, yeah.
Last year, I have complained in our marriage that his massage skills are subpar.
Give me a score out of 10 for the people.
Before?
Probably
like a 3.
Not a 4, huh?
I don't know. There was a lot of kneading that was very kitten paws.
All right, you never phrased it like that before.
And yes,
maybe tell that. Maybe use kitten paws. Maybe tell me that before we broadcast. I'm just kidding.
So, anyways, for our anniversary, Jay learned educational classes. Learned how to give massages.
I took notes. I had a notebook.
He had a whole thing and then gave me a very legitimate massage on our anniversary. And I had no idea he was doing this and educating himself on it. It was really, so.
Thank you. You know what? And what did we both notice last time I gave you a massage? Was it sometime in the last month? My hands.
Your stamina is so much better.
Oh, yeah.
Your technique.
I can give a much longer massage than previously. My fingers would get so tired.
I know, so fast.
So fatigued.
Which was incredible because it just felt like kitten paws.
Well, it wasn't deep tissue.
Oh.
You don't need a bottle of water after that.
Don't need to flush any lactic acid after that massage. Okay. Helping me regulate myself.
Bare minimum.
Posting about me on social media.
Princess tree. That is not a bare minimum. Some guys do not use social media.
Meaning you being that guy?
I don't post anything. I haven't posted on Facebook in years, probably.
Which is ironic because you have basically an entire TikTok page that is your face.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, for any of you who've been trying to scope me out, TikTok, I have 5 of them, maybe.
Yeah, he is not a social media person.
Instagram has been even longer than Facebook.
Which is just ironic to me.
Yeah. I almost post sometimes.
He talks himself out of it.
Yeah, but it's been a while since I've even done an almost post.
Yeah, he overthinks it.
Yeah.
And then can't do it.
I can't do it.
Buying flowers just because.
Bare minimum.
Getting me a gift I love for no reason.
Bare minimum. The spontaneity is important.
Calling or texting to check that I got home safely.
Bare minimum.
Remembering my coffee order.
That is a bare minimum. And I have struggled because I don't drink coffee. He doesn't drink coffee. No, I don't drink coffee.
Yeah. Another J story is that
what?
This is kind of embarrassing.
For me?
But for me. Because earlier on in our marriage, when I had a little bit of a Starbucks problem, it was a big problem. However, whenever he was by Starbucks, I want my Starbucks. I wanted my Starbucks every day. And I know that is princessy.
Yeah.
Okay. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I can admit it. Okay.
Great.
And it was a financial toll on us, and that was irresponsible as well. I can acknowledge that as well. Okay. We had some conflicts. Anyways, Jay would always forget to, no. I'm going to rewind here. Sorry.
Lay it out.
I ended up doing the Panera Sip Club eventually.
Yeah.
which was $11.99 a month.
I loved it.
And I could get unlimited drinks. And it
Every 2
scratched,
hours.
it scratched that itch for me. Okay. So now I have this expectation that when Jay is in town and he is by that proximity of Panera, I want my Sip Club drink. And he would forget to get my Sip Club drink. And it got to the point where it started being hurtful.
Yeah.
Because I had voiced so many times, when you are over there, can you get me my Sip Club drink? But he just couldn't remember because it wasn't something on his mind, because he is not somebody who finds the dopamine rush like I find the dopamine rush in my Sip Club drinks.
I've never had that kind of relationship with the drink other than water.
Yes. So he ended up putting a location alert on his phone to where anytime he was within a certain mile radius of Panera, he would get a notification saying, get Katie her drink.
We had a fight, or a borderline fight, about it. And after that, I was like, I'm going to fix my problem with this right now. Because I, for the life of me, was like, I try and remember because it's by Menards.
Yeah, it was. And Jay goes to Menards all the time because of his job.
So, yeah. And that, people are going to be like, oh, that's a strike against him. Because before, didn't seem maybe that big of a deal, but he's always by Panera. He's always forgetting.
Yeah, that's why it became hurtful, is because he goes to Menards daily.
Okay.
This was earlier on in our marriage.
Yeah.
And I, in retrospect, probably should not have been so hurt about that. But also, please keep getting my drinks. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I think it was also probably just, we do internal family systems for it. Each of us do in our separate counseling with our separate counselors and stuff. Maybe a part was really upset about it.
Yeah, there definitely was a part
So
that was upset
it's
about.
a younger part related to a
That
different
felt very
experience.
forgotten.
Yeah. Oh, stop. Caters.
I know that was my nickname when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really great doing internal family systems work when your spouse is also doing internal family systems work.
Never thought about that. If it was just one of us doing it, the other person would not get it.
No, they would not get it. They would think that we were talking cray-cray.
Right.
And half of you guys probably think we are talking cray-cray. Look it up. IFS. It's an amazing therapy modality.
You read a bit of that book to me, and I tried to do it on my own, and it worked within like 10 minutes, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is the kind of therapy I need.
Unlocked.
Anyway, for those of you who want to know how to do that, the location thing, so I use an iPhone, and it's using the Reminders app, and it's built into the iPhone. It's one of those that just comes with it. People probably delete sometimes. And there's a way where you can go in. I YouTubed it. You can YouTube, how do I use the Reminder app, iOS, and then do, basically I wanted a reminder that would trigger based off of location, not a time of day reminder. So anytime I was within 1.5 miles of Panera, it would pop up on my lock screen when I'm driving. And I'd be like, oh, thank you, buddy.
And I didn't need a drink multiple times a day. I just wanted it one time a day.
Yeah. And I was only in Menards maybe 3 times a week.
I just needed it at one time a day. Listen, Panera did not make money off me.
No. All the people that would get a Sip Club thing and just never use it paid for you.
Yes. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, back to our trend.
But then they got rid of your drink from there. They got rid of whatever it was.
I know,
it was like a refresher.
It was dangerous.
From Starbucks.
It was dangerous. It was the lemonade charge, the charged lemonades. And it was it's because it killed people. Jay just gave me this look like, what was I buying you? I know.
You got another drink like that in the fridge outside.
It's because people were like ODing on caffeine because they were getting it multiple times a day.
And so they got rid of that drink. Not Sip Club.
No, not Sip Club. No. Just a drink. Okay, back to our trend.
Yeah.
Remembering my special food order with substitutions and customizations.
Depending on how long you've been with the person, I would say that is bare minimum in a longer term relationship.
Yeah. Planning a special date just because.
Oh, bare minimum.
Paying for the meal and drinks.
Bare minimum.
Booking a weekend getaway just because.
again, like it depends on the length of the relationship, but I'm like, dude, that's a bare. You need to be a leader of romance. You know what I mean? Come on, that's a good phrase.
That is a good phrase.
That just slipped out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to be a leader in romance. And I wanted to do that. And I felt really like just feels good doing it. Yeah, but longer term relationship, you got to be doing that kind of stuff.
Sending a random sweet text midday.
Bare minimum.
Opening car doors every time.
No matter when. You could be on a first date. You could have just met this person. Bare minimum.
Doing the dishes or chores without being asked.
Bare minimum, because they were never just your responsibility. Trick question.
Okay, why?
Because they were never just your responsibility.
Meaning...
So I'm not doing it for you. I should just be doing it because regardless of our relationship, like I should be doing 50% of the stuff if we live in the same house.
Bringing me coffee or breakfast in bed.
I have to pause on this one. That's princess treatment.
The last one.
It just feels princess. It just feels princess. That's the last one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just feels like princess treatment. Yeah.
Well, thanks for participating.
Yeah, no problem. Should I come up with some for you?
Oh, sure.
Okay. She sends you a flirty or good morning text every day. It's rough with the everyday.
The everyday. The everyday. Well, I'm not going to call it princess treatment. I'll call it prince treatment.
Right, prince treatment.
Prince treatment.
Okay. She remembers small details about things you like or dislike and adjusts accordingly, like your favorite snack or how you take your coffee.
Oh, bare minimum.
Oh, you do such a good job with that. This is fun asking the questions. She compliments your appearance or style regularly without you fishing for it.
Oh, bare minimum. You got to make him feel like he's a hottie patati.
Like I'm a stud muffin.
Yeah.
She plans a surprise date night tailored to what you love, like tickets to your favorite band or restaurant.
I think if you've been together for a long time, that would be a bare minimum.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She rubs your back or shoulders when you're stressed without being asked.
Bare minimum. You can say something. He's just all he's doing is giving me eyes.
I'm just beaming.
He is. He just keeps looking at me and like
crushing these.
Beaming.
You're crushing it. Yes, absolutely. Like because all these things, bare minimum, like that. These are things you do all the time. Okay.
Well, this is a podcast, so people can't see you.
You're right, man. Okay. She defends you or speaks up for you when someone is being unfair or rude about you in public or in front of friends, family.
Bare minimum.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah. You would not stand for that.
No.
Oh, you would. Oh, no. You would shut that down so fast. She initiates meaningful conversations about your goals, dreams, or feelings because she wants to understand you better.
Bare minimum.
Yeah. I think you'd be like, it's barer than the minimum.
Yeah. That's your person.
Yeah.
Got to know all the things about your person.
Yeah. Because you want to understand me better.
Yeah.
And that means a lot. That means a lot. Like, I think for most guys, that would mean a lot. Just that you ask me things and you're genuinely interested and you want to understand, genuinely just want to understand me better. It's such a nice feeling. Because I think often we as guys feel misunderstood. But also in relationships can feel misunderstood. But if I know that you're always trying to understand me better, very disarming too in like arguments and stuff. Okay. She leaves you little notes or messages reminding you that she loves and appreciates you.
Bare minimum.
You do those really well. The forever. Those are very frequent. And like your little quirky ones too. Like little matchboxes.
You're going to have to elaborate on that because people are going to have no idea what you're talking about.
It's like, it's a little matchbox that she has decorated the outside of, and you open it up and there's something inside. And sometimes it's a gag. Sometimes they're drawings. Sometimes there's actually something inside the box to go with the drawings. And they're just super flirty and fun.
Yeah. I'm autistic, guys.
That's
right.
So
I decorate matchboxes with special messages inside.
That's a super cool idea. That's so creative. Like,
I don't express my love and feelings.
I don't think any other guy's getting that. That's very niche.
It is very niche, and it takes a very niche guy to really appreciate that.
Oh, and I so appreciate we're in such an indie relationship.
Yeah, if we were a film, it'd be A24
for sure, but not intentionally either.
No.
Yeah, she supports and cheers you on at your events, hobbies, or big work presentations, even if it means going out of her way.
Oh, bare minimum. I ooh and ah at all your accomplishments.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so for the second part of this episode, what I thought would be kind of a cool idea, and you can veto it if you want because I haven't talked to you about this. There's people online that will often make comments about how I'm still educating you and what have you really actually learned. And we've talked before about what you've learned and how it's like changed you and stuff. So I don't want to ask that question again because that's old news. That's, I feel like, redundant. So I'm wondering if you can explain a couple things to me instead.
Okay.
Can you explain to me why women don't feel safe? And you can just stream of consciousness it.
Okay.
You don't have to it doesn't have to be a succinct sentence. I'm counting on content.
No problem. I'm just going to let that question sink in for a minute.
Okay, here, let's play this game. I got a better one.
Okay.
I'm a guy and I don't get why women don't feel safe.
Okay.
I think that's stupid that they don't feel safe. They
First-
watch too much true crime.
First, I would really feel like I wish that I had the actual numbers memorized. Because I'd be spitting out 1 in 4 this and 1 in 5 that. And 1 in 3 women experience this. Like the percent of women that experience sexual assault or harassment, those that have experienced sexual abuse, those who have experienced violence from a guy, those who've experienced like being touched when they haven't given consent to be touched by a guy. Like it is insane the high percentages of women that experience this everywhere. So to them, because most women have experienced this thing, they have a view of men as this unsafe, unpredictable, well, could be safe, could be not. I don't know. So I have to err on not.
Can I play a devil's advocate?
Oh, shoot. Yeah, this will be fun.
I know you might not know the numbers, but I think you might know them better than you think you know them. So I'm going to ask you this. Okay. But what percentage of, you keep saying large percentages of women, like what percentage of, like how large is that? Do you even know? And where do you get your sources from?
Sure. I'd say, well, first of all, my sources, I have a link I can just show you.
Oh yeah, because we have a link.
Because we actually have a link. So I'd say I'll text you right now. You can look at all my sources. Let me know if you have any questions about any of them. Number 2, 1 in 3 women in their life will experience sexual harassment of some sort.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So you meet 3 women, 1 of them has experienced that already. And so she doesn't know, because a man can do this to me. And so I view all men as a possibility of a threat because some are good, some aren't. Some would do that, some wouldn't, but I can't tell which one. I don't know you.
But how many men are really out there doing that? It's such a low percentage of men.
That number doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter the percentage of men that do it. It's the percentage of women that it happens to. It doesn't really matter how many men do it or not. This is what's happened to them. And so that's where their worldview comes from. And then what do we do to be vocal about how wrong that is? It's not like men stand up all the time and talk about how wrong that is. So we're not really showing that some of us aren't. Basically, the option is going to be between a guy who would do those things or a guy who's kind of neutral. Because we don't really see guys talking vocally who aren't just kind of neutral about it.
That's great.
And
answer.
are really just, hey, we stand against this. This is an alternative view of what a man is. Because we're not giving him an alternative, really.
Okay, I'm another bro.
Okay. What's up, Chad?
Hey. So women already have equality.
What do you mean?
I mean, I don't understand this whole women want equal rights thing because they already have equality. I mean, come on. What are they, what is really different legally?
I mean, there's a few significant things that legally are different.
Okay.
One of them is that we have our rights as men guaranteed in the Constitution. women technically don't, except for the right to vote.
What about the 14th Amendment? It says all people.
Yeah, but there is this understanding that women were like special persons, like separate from people.
So like you're telling me that like women don't have the same rights under the Constitution?
Yes. They're guaranteed in legislation, in laws that Congress has passed. But those laws at any time can get struck down and declared unconstitutional by the Supreme Court. So unless it's an amendment to the Constitution, any Supreme Court ruling could undo that legislation.
What do they want it to say?
That there's equality of the sexes. What rights one sex has, the other one has. And women should be free from discrimination based off of sex. Because that's what legislation basically aims to say, but it's not guaranteed in the Constitution. Not protected from the Supreme Court.
I'm another guy.
Oh, what's up?
Sup?
What's up, Matt?
Hey. So I don't believe in male privilege. I think that's BS.
Oh, well, I wonder if we're talking about understand male privilege to be the same thing. How would you define it? Just so,
like, I don't think I get special treatment just because I'm a guy, or that I have like a special advantage just because I'm a dude.
Oh, I don't think you do either, dude. I think you have the bare minimum. Absolutely. Okay. That's not the problem.
Okay.
Okay. The problem is we have the bare minimum, and the women don't have the bare minimum all the time. It's not like we have something special. No, we have something that's basic human. And then women just don't always get that. So we're not saying that we have a special privilege. No, we just have what everybody should have.
You got me. Yeah. But like, why don't they have the bare minimum? Like, what do you mean?
Okay, well, first of all, they haven't had a lot of time. Like, men have had a lot more time to be able to get to where we are because, like, women, okay, we could have always had a bank account anytime, start a business in our own name anytime. Women couldn't do that. Women couldn't have a bank account just in her name till like until the 1970s. Or be able to start a business in her own name only. They haven't been able to start a business in their name only. They just started that in 1988. And we've been able to do that hundreds of years. So they haven't had the same amount of time we have to be able to move up and then help others move up and help their kids get set up to move up in their career paths and their, family stability and financial stability. Like, they just haven't the same amount of time we have.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's almost like guys are like expecting us to be superhuman, because we would be superhuman if we could be at the same level.
Yeah.
In that short period of time.
Right, and we've had hundreds of years to do that for each other.
I mean, that's really giving women a lot of freaking credit.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Yeah.
Guys really believing that.
Yeah.
If you really knew the complexities of what that belief system meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like if you were only given 36 years to have your own business, there's women like first-time business owners probably still in business.
Yeah.
That were like some of the first women businesses.
Yeah. And did that vary by state? That was just federally protected at that point?
No, I think that, federally, like it was like, I forget what the legislation was.
And you wouldn't pass it federally unless you needed to overrule states somewhere. So in states, this was obviously happening.
Yeah, so there was the Women's Business Ownership Act of 1988, signed by Ronald Reagan. I knew it was Reagan legislation, which basically made it to where banks who routinely required a husband or father or male relative co-sign loan applications women no longer needed that. And then they had the credit discrimination on the basis of sex was outlawed by the Equal Opportunities Act. So between those two acts together, now women suddenly had access, in theory, to funds, as well, in theory, to a business in their own name.
Yeah. And, stuff was still going on after that where, like, they wouldn't say this is why. They're not lending you this amount of money or what have you, but it would be why. I mean, we all know that's what happened. Same thing with anybody who's an ethnic minority either.
Yes.
Like, illegal, you can't do that, but how are they just doing it and they're just not telling you that's why? Like, everybody knows that. It's unbelievable.
Since I have learned about women's rights and male privilege and just all that stuff, like really more in detail, and realizing like how far behind women really are, like way farther behind than what I thought when I started this journey even a year ago, it makes me like somatically like nauseous thinking about adding in ethnicity. I mean, you're talking about women of color not being able to vote really until 1965. 45 years after white women. That's the gap. So then you start applying that to like all these things that we're talking about.
Yeah. Access to a mortgage, access to credit.
Yes, that gap is so much bigger. Black people are doing an amazing job considering
The amount of time
that they have had in comparison.
Yeah. We've had so much more time in this country.
And women in general, white women have had so much more time. So this has made me realize even more my privilege as a white woman. So when I sit here and I compare privilege between white man and white man and white woman, I'm aware I'm the white man in another person's story. And I don't think I've ever been so keenly aware of that in my life. And feminism has taught me that I'm the white man in some of these stories.
That's a big surprise and a big reality check.
Yeah, it
Like,
is. And I
just,
think about it.
whoa.
I think about it a lot.
That's
In like how to, what change in me that necessitates happening now that I really realize that on just something I've never realized before. Like I knew white women had it better. I did not know how much white women had it better. And again, feminism taught me that.
it's a powerful thing.
So feminism has taught me so much more than just the dynamics between men and women. But the intersectionality of it all is stunning. That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. Do you have any more scenarios?
I don't have any more scenarios. I was going to solicit our listeners for scenarios because this is kind of a fun segment.
It is.
If there is role play conversations that you would love to see Jay and I have where Jay is explaining to another dude, aka me,
Yes.
Chad.
Yeah.
Chad. That's going to be my name. My name is Chad. Yeah, if you guys have anything that you would like to see play out between the two of us in that dynamic, please email it to us because that was like a lot of fun
That was
to do.
a lot of fun.
That was unanticipated
Yeah.
fun. So thank you so much for listening. Sorry that this one wasn't, super educational per se, but we had a lot of fun hanging out together and we hope that you had fun hanging out with us.
I hope for those of you listening, something was intriguing or sparked a curiosity or you felt affirmed or challenged. Stay educated. Take the pink pill. If you enjoyed this podcast, please give us a follow and maybe a nice review.